It's Friday, folks. You know what that means. It's time for another Tech Help Quick Queries. This is number 27, brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Quick Queries is a video dedicated to all the questions that we get, either in the forums or on my YouTube channel, that don't necessarily need a whole video on themselves, but it's interesting stuff. I like to talk about it, so that's what we're going to do today. One of my Platinum members, Todd, posted this in the forums just yesterday. He's using my search as you type video, and it changes the record source of a form based on what you type into a search box. The problem is, if you don't put anything in the search box, this is going to error out. Now, there's all kinds of ways you can check for it, but Kevin came up with a genius solution. I'm just going to scroll down to his code down here. He's just handling it with an error handler. Instead of worrying about what's in there, right? He's just saying, if you get an error, right, go to the error handler. So if any of this stuff throws an error, it's going to jump down here. Now, the error number that the guy's getting is 2185. So if that's the case, all you got to do is just reset it to a basic SQL statement there and show all the records, or show just entity equals 0. All right, bottom line is, if you get a weird error, instead of having to jump through all these hoops to try to figure out what it is, just trap it. So if I get this error, okay, I know what it is. It happens. Just do this basic thing instead. So great solution, Kevin. Thanks for sharing that. Next up, some comments on my distribute text video. This is where I show you how to get that last line in a long text box to distribute properly across the row. And Ninjagaro says, what I'd like to do is add invisible text white character on a white background. Yeah, that would work too. If you just made this text box white, then you could just insert any characters that you want, right? And with rich text, that is definitely possible. B. Jones 9942 says, when you have thousands of records, it's easier to abandon your need for justified text. Yeah, I guess so. In Word, a Control-Shift space gives you a non-breaking space. Never tried it in Access. Well, I know for a fact it doesn't work in Access. But for everybody else, in case you want a Word tip, if you've got something like this, let's say you've got a space here, right, after exhibit. Let's pretend this is two small words, right? If you put a space there, it's gonna break over that line there with the word wrap, okay? But if you put a Control-Shift space there, look at that, it doesn't break, right? You still got a space there, but it's a non-breaking space. So it won't slide back up here. So that's a pretty cool tip. Thanks for sharing that, B. Jones. Next up, some questions on one of my more popular videos, the invoicing video. Sean says, when trying to add a new product to a blank order, I get the following: runtime error 3201. You cannot add or change a record because a related record is required in table order T. Right? If you go to a customer's orders, if you go to add a new order, if you just try putting a record down here in the subform, there's no record up here yet, right? See? It says new. That means there's no ID down here to create that relationship. You got to have a record in the parent table first. So you can either put something up here, right? Set the date or whatever, because now I got an ID. Now I can come down here and add stuff. Okay? If you don't, you'll be creating an order called orphaned records. They don't have a parent. And of course, I show you how to fix that in this video, Widows and Orphans. And basically, with a teeny tiny bit of code, couple lines, you can just say that if a record's being inserted into the subform and there's nothing up here, just change a value up here. It's real easy to do. Mega El Drago Destroy says, is there another tutorial available that tackles the scenario where the field quantity is added for each item in the product T table? I'd like the quantity to be decreased once the product has been added to the order form. Yeah, sure. You're basically talking about inventory handling. Go watch this guy. You want to keep a quantity on hand, and then when products are added, or I like to do it when the product is shipped. You mark a product shipped, and at that point, it'll go through and take all the inventory items out. But you can trigger it whenever you want to trigger it. Just go watch this. I got tons of inventory videos on my website. Next up, this user is saying that the database is asking them if they want an event procedure, not an embedded macro. What is going on here? When you go to activate the builder, okay, whether it's the code builder or the macro builder or the, what's the other one? The expression builder. All right, you'll sometimes get a little pop-up. I teach you how to turn this pop-up off in my very early classes. But go watch this video. I'll put a link down below. It teaches you how to set your database to always use event procedures. If you're doing VBA programming, which is what I use in most of my videos, you want to always use event procedures. I never use the macro builder. I never use the expression builder. I explain why in this video. Junker Jorg, or Jorg, whichever way you go. It says, I'm at the point where I've dragged my order detail F onto the order form, and for some reason, no data is showing up in the order detail fields. If I open the order detail F by itself, all the data populates. I'm sure I'm missing something simple, but I don't know what it is. My link master and child fields are both looking at order ID. That's where people usually go wrong. This guy right here, whenever you create your order form, right? Usually what happens is they create this subform, and the link master fields, link child fields have to be whatever field links those two tables together. In this case, it's order ID. This is where people usually have a problem. Maybe sometimes this doesn't get created automatically for you. But if it's working for you, if you've got that, the only thing I could suggest is maybe you don't have a parent order. All right, if you're on a blank order like that, or an order ID where there are no details, you won't see anything. That's the only thing I could think of. If you've got matching records with the same order ID, you should see the records. If not, try recreating the subform again. Maybe something went wrong. Maybe it's corrupted. And of course, you can run down my troubleshooter. This was designed to catch all the weird problems that don't necessarily have a definitive fix, right? And I've tried to order them in the easiest to hardest, right? So, back up your database first, restart Access, restart all Access databases, compact and repair, compile your database, etc., etc., etc. Run down this list. It might be something so simple that maybe your database is corrupted, right? Give Windows a fresh boot, right? Don't pull your hair out for 2 hours trying to figure something out. Try running down the simple stuff on here first, and if it still doesn't work, let me know, and maybe we'll take a look at it and figure something else out. Hannah wants to know how you can change the background color of the report. I use the bucket tool, but it still doesn't fully color the page. Yeah, that's actually one of the limitations of Access. Access doesn't have many, but this is one of them. It's not really designed for doing fanciful things like that. You can make some really good reports, but yeah, there's a margin at the edge that you just can't change. So if you come into design view, you can change. Now remember, there's multiple sections in here. So if you want to change the background, let's say you want to do like a light blue. All right, you can change the background of the report header. You could change the background of all of your objects, or just make them transparent, right? Shape fill, transparent. All right, you could change this section. Did I get it? Oh, I didn't get it. Where is it? Recent colors down there, right? The detail section, and so on. All the sections you can change. Okay, and when I do a print preview now, I still left with that. That's not very nice, right? Now you can try to do something like a rectangle in the background behind everything, but even that doesn't work right. I've tried it before. You could take a rectangle, and then you could drop a rectangle in here. You can make this guy have that background color, right? You could slide it up here. You could try to make it 8.5 across, and then however big, you can send it to back, right? But no matter what you do, you're still going to have those margins around it, all right? You can't set the margins to 0. That's another one of the limitations. You go to page setup and go to margins, all right? Or in here. Right, you could try setting these to 0, but no, 0.2 is the smallest. Depends on your printer. All right, so there's really no way to easily do that inside of Access by itself. So what you can do, right, is you can export this as a PDF or a Word document, and then you can change the color in that application, right? Now, I know Word isn't perfect, but if you do, export the Word, and let's open her up. Okay. And so here it is in Word. Okay. Yeah, you missed some of the formatting. You could export it as a PDF and you'll get closer to what it actually is supposed to look like with the lines and stuff. Okay. And then on design, you can come over here and go to page color and make your color like this. And this is good if you want to make PDFs to send to people. Most printers, you're still going to have a white margin around because they can't print all the way to the edge of the page. I've tried. But if you want to make a nice, pretty PDF to send someone like an online brochure or something, you can do it with that. But you got to use another application. Access can't do it by itself. Sorry. Again, Access doesn't have many limitations, but it does have some, and that's one of them. I don't know. Sammy, should we add that to the list? Maybe, have margins of 0 so people can create PDFs out of this stuff and make a background page color. I looked, I searched, I even asked ChatGPT. There is no background color setting for the entire page. There should be. So yeah, let's add that to the list. User fan 1002 wants to know, can we take relationship out of the picture completely? Not really. No, if you want to set this up the right way, you need a relationship between the order and the order details. Otherwise, you'd have to have all the order information on each detail, and then you're just going back to Excel. So you really need a relationship between these tables and a relationship between orders and customers if you want to have it built right. If not, do it your way. Don't listen to me. What do I know? Delana says, thank you very much. I'd like to know how to adjust the price on a product without altering previous records. Any information will be helpful. Thanks again for your guidance. Yeah, this is a problem that you have if you put your products directly into the order details. For example, and I see this a lot, and in fact, I actually build the database this way in my expert classes so I can teach you how to do it the wrong way so you get a better appreciation for doing it the right way. What a lot of people do is if you want to have a product table, okay, with a list of products that you can pick from in here, okay, and you make this a drop down, and then it automatically can figure out what the price is from the value in the combo box. If you go back and change the product pricing, right, like when eggs go up another $5,000, right, it will adjust all of your previous orders if these are linked together, okay? So what you have to do is you have to pick the product, but don't save that ID right in here and the product details in like a combo box in here. What I do is I put it down on the bottom, let you pick the product, and then it copies it up there with a little bit of VBA. All right, it's a little bit more work, and I actually do cover how to do that in the extended cut for this invoicing video, all right, which is available for the members. You make a little box down here, a little combo box with your products in it and their prices. You hit add, and that copies the product and the details up here. So that's stored in the order details, and if you go back and change these for future orders, it doesn't change all your existing ones. That does involve some coding. Again, I show you that in the extended cut for this video. Next up is a question from last week's Quick Queries. Asks if the online version of Microsoft Office can be downloaded to the user's computer. I hate online versions that aren't useful when the internet is not available. The answer is no. If you're using Office Online, the web browser-based version of Word, Excel, whatever else they got, no, you have to be connected for that to work. So yeah, I agree. I don't like it where you can't use it offline either. If you need to be able to work offline, you need the desktop version, which is what I recommend anyways. The desktop version has a lot more features too. It is interesting to note, though, that Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides can be used offline, but you got to set it up ahead of time in offline mode. I actually have a video that I'll be doing about how to use this in the near future. It's on my list. It's been on the list for a while, but I know most of my users are Microsoft Office users and not Google Docs, but I use Google Docs myself a lot. It's very lightweight, it's fast, and it's got some benefits that even the online version of Word doesn't have. So look for a video coming out on that soon. Well, there you go, folks. Another Friday, another Quick Queries video in the can. That's going to do it for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next Friday for another Quick Queries, and I'll see you on, well, let's see, this Monday is a holiday. It's President's Day. So I'll see you on Tuesday for a new Tech Help video. Take care. Have a great weekend. A special thank you and shout out to our diamond sponsors. Juan Soto with Access Experts Software Solutions, manufacturing experts specializing in Access and SQL Server. Sammy Shama with Shama Consultancy, a certified Microsoft Access expert who offers personalized one-on-one tutoring. And Amanda Nicole Consulting, specializing in helping businesses move from complex Excel sheets to an Access database. You'll find links to the diamond sponsors in the description down below the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little show more down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.